Well, hello and welcome. Greetings, my League of Eagles. It's Wednesday, and so I'm grateful that you're here each and every Wednesday when you show up because we gather for another episode of Leading Ladies, Leaving Legacies, of which you are one. And that's why I've labeled this group and this live stream a League of Eagles. Now, we're streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. And I hope you know by now what a gift it is for me to be connected with you today and always when we come together. I am Joy Ruffin, your minister of enlightenment, awareness, and awakenings. And I love that word awakenings, and we're going to be discussing it a lot as we move forward. And in addition to that, I'm your signature style specialist. So now this month, the month of March, what is the theme? It's your power in full bloom unfolding. So, what does that really mean? It's simply food for thought because it's time for us as leading ladies, women, females to rise and soar together. Now, the first of every month, I come to you as a solo. But then every week on a Wednesday thereafter, I will be bringing you a featured guest speaker. Now, our featured guest speaker today has already informed me that she's running a wee bit late, but she's definitely going to arrive. So I'm going to change the format around just a wee bit. And because there's so much blooming in the air, I want to share a couple of things with you. I alluded to this and mentioned it, more than alluded to it, on Monday. As of this week, we will no longer be doing our Monday 3 p.m. live broadcast. Leaders and legacy in style, the divine masculine and the divine feminine. I always like ending with that because it's time for the unity and the blending of that. For me, and I hope and I pray, as Momsy would say, somewhat for you, it's about the blending much of the old with the new, because much of the old we're discarding, some of the new we're saying, not sure. So it's a matter of getting to the mean and getting to the middle of that. And that's what we're going to be doing with Leading Ladies, Leaving Legacies. And there's going to be somewhat of a surprise there for you when we come back, because we're taking another time away from the month of April, only because there's something big unfolding that we're putting together for you for the month of May. Haven't decided on an exact date yet, probably around the middle towards the end, but as soon as we get that, by the end of this month, which is only another week and a half away, we'll be sharing that with you. And it's something that I'm really gung-ho about. And most of you who know me, you know that, because we're going to be talking a lot about the divine, the divinity of you, me, all of us. Because when we talk about the divine femininity and the divine masculine, it's all connected. It's one and it's blended. So we're going to be talking about foundational stuff and how we're going to blend the old with the new. And we're going to be talking about balance, harmony, and unity for us, our divine power, how we own it, our radiance, our style, and our power, which is combined and blended together. And we're going to be talking about that in the sense that it relates to you, because if you're here, you are among and a part of a league, a team of eagles. I think I've asked you this before. Why an eagle? Well, I'd like for you to do your own homework. Food for thought. Because the eagle is a very majestic and royal, regal bird. And I love birds. Earth, nature, and all of that. But the eagle, as far as the US of A and many of the other countries, everyone really has a deep amount of admiration and respect for the eagle. And so when I label you a league of eagles, there's a method to my madness behind that. Because you're here because you're soaring, aspiring, and rising to the top of where you are meant to be. And no matter what that might be, it has to be, or let me back up and say, it ought to be a part of something that you're offering as service to others. Now, my background is all about fashion. I grew up under the umbrella of the entertainment industry, Hollywood, communications, and fashion. Those are my three loves. And they more or less kind of rule the universe. So, what I'm about for us, the Eagles, not for everyone, is for the evolution of our rise to owning the innate power that is within us, owning it with humility, a bit of humor, compassion, love, and all those other beautiful adjectives. Because there's nothing wrong with what's happening in, let's just stay with the fashion industry for right here and now, because that's my wheelhouse. That's my knowing. And it's a knowing with certainty. Not an expert, not an influencer, just one who has a deep sense of aesthetics, a love for it, and a discerning knowing. Knowing that not everyone is willing, ready, or able to make the change, to rise and soar into whatever their greatness, mission, purpose, and vision might be. So I want to leave you with this one food for thought, because this major event that I'm getting ready to present to you with the team and the help of many, I want you to be thinking about presence, image, appearance, how you show up. And when you do, what is the first impression that you want to make? And, does it matter to you? Because a lot don't care. It doesn't matter. The grooming is there, the hygiene is there, all the high-end brand names and elevate and trendy and what's in, all well and good. No one has a right to be judgmental if that's your way of perceiving and adhering to casual and whatever suits you or you feel suits you. But for those who really want to know and aspire to higher, this evolution of change for women, for now, owning the power that's innate and being a total equal to your partner and your mate, he or she, however it plays out, that's where this event is going to come into play. And I want to leave you with this. I'm not a prude. I am a bit old-fashioned, old school and back in the day, but let me tell you this to qualify that. I love all of this newness, this technology, this AI, and all this other stuff that's here and now. Don't think for a moment, even though I'm a little kind of with it, that I don't have a great admiration and respect and appreciation for it. But much of the way that we have been programmed, conditioned, and sexualized, how we've been objectified and marginalized, when are we going to drop that and start anew the awakening that's beckoning for us now? Not tomorrow, not yesterday, starting now. And one of the food for thoughts that I'm going to leave you with, and you can say, oh, that's a little prudish, and that's being a little prissy, and that's kind of old-fashioned, too proper, whatever. Use whatever verbiage you choose. I'm standing in my greatness, in my grace. And that is, why skin? What is it that all of a sudden it seems that anytime there is a certain affair that we have to show up showing more and more skin? Now that belongs to Hollywood, to the entertainment industry. Skin, skin, skin. The more you can show, the better. But when it comes to your top B, it's always been since the beginning of time. When do we pull back? We know it's there. Your mate, your partner, your significant other, husband, wife, whoever he or she or it might be. We don't need to see it. We know it's there. So what is the purpose of that? I leave you with that food for thought. You can label and stack me up and plaster me against the wall however you like. But that's what I want you to start thinking about. Because now in this casual mode with so much skin, and especially with leggings, jeggings, and tights, exercise, activewear, the gym, Pilates, yoga, yes. But when you're out in a professional networking environment, food for thought. I just want you to take that in and think about it. And if you want to take it in and throw it right into the you know what can, all well and good. Because I am not begging or even bragging to ask you to come aboard so that you can be a part of what's going to be the new women of tomorrow, the new trailblazers of tomorrow, the new trailblazers, the front runners, and the pioneers of what divine femininity aligned with divine masculine means to us as women. Now, you can say, because I've labeled myself the minister of enlightenment, awareness, and awakenings, that's a little bit too for me. I get it. I understand it. Change is very, very difficult for most of us. It takes a lot of tweaking, thinking, not sure, maybe. And then sooner or later, you will begin to see that maybe all of this programming, conditioning, and how we've been sexualized, it's outdated. There's no longer a need for it. This hunger that most of us have, I have it, for attention, to be seen, to be heard, and starving and thirsty for that attention, all well and good. But what type of attention are you seeking? How do you want to be showcased and seen? These are the things that I want us as women of tomorrow, the trailblazers, the pioneers, to be thinking about. Because once we start to analyze the depths of our essence and our being, our mind, body, and soul connected, much of what we've been programmed and conditioned and sexualized to, it just goes out the window because it's no longer needed. If you keep the humor, the humility, the compassion, the love, and the ability to give and to care, all one and the same, then the better off we're going to be. So I just want you to take that to heart and soul and take it in and let it marinate. Let it percolate there. And when you get ready to go out, mainly to a black tie or when you're dressing with those low V's and so on, why? Just ask yourself, why? Why is it necessary? Does it make you feel good because they're being seen? Give it some thought, food for thought. That's all I'm asking you for. Because I'm changing this format around a wee bit because of my featured guest who's going to arrive here soon. I'm going to now take a quick little reset and speak to you about a couple of things. And maybe by the time I'm through, she'll be here. And if not, we'll continue until she arrives because I so want you to meet her. And then I'm going to give you a little bit of an intro about her when she arrives. But in the meantime, let me take this reset. I'm changing the format around quite a bit, but you can dance, you can follow. I have a Facebook group. It's called Leading Ladies, Leaving Legacies. And this Facebook group is my baby. Yes, it is. It's my baby. It's my heartbeat because I'm all about leading ladies who are about leading themselves first, know thyself, and then leaving legacies. No matter how small, middle, or large it might be, the size is irrelevant. It's the meaning of that legacy and what you want to leave. So what is your vision, the mission, and the purpose that you have here on the planet, Mother Gaia, Mother Earth? Because this is what is important. And I want you, if you're not a member, to come and join us. And in the joining, not only join us, but make sure that you connect with the other women who are there. See the ones that you feel might be one that you could collaborate with and make changes with so that you can be in cahoots with each other. And if not, see if maybe there's someone, if you connected with them, they might be able to introduce you to someone else. It's all about community. Community is everything. And once you open a door, you don't close it. And when you do close it, if it has to be closed, maybe that other person didn't know that you closed it. That's the art of closing a door. And the other thing is I have a YouTube channel. Joy Ruffin, Fashioning, Femininity, Style, and Truth. Now, femininity, style, and truth are the foundational bedrocks of what I am about for you, for me, for all of us who are the leading ladies of today. Because this channel, which is to you every Thursday, is going to be all about how we as women embrace our divine femininity and masculinity combined, and how we take our mission out into the universe and share it with others who need the wisdom and the love that you're offering. So you, when you go there, subscribe. Sometimes I go to YouTube as I'm editing and I'm scrolling, and I forget to click the subscribe button for something that I liked. So subscribe there with that button. Give me your likes and your comments, the good, the bad, and the so-so. I really don't do ugly here because I don't see ugly. I see possibilities and so-so things that can be altered or changed, yet it's about the good, the bad, and the so-so. So leave me your comments one way or the other. And then I'll wind up with what I want you to be aware of is when you go to my website, there are 3 packages there for you. And when I started off talking to you about skin and showing skin and why do we show the top B, I'm not even going to go to the bottom B because that's another saga. We'll talk about that when we do our one-on-one. And there's a lot to share with you about that. But these packages are geared for where you feel you're at and what you need. It's back to the basics, back to the beginning, and back to the birth of what it is to own your body and showcase in a way that represents the best of you. And that said, all I want you to do is take your either one, the Style Rebirth, which is 3 weeks with bonuses, the Style Mastery, which is 5 weeks, and then the Divine Reinvention is 5 weeks with me and all the bonuses. And that's the package that you want to be aware of. That said, now we're going back, and my featured guest speaker has arrived. But before I bring her up, just let me say this to you. I want you to know this from my heart to yours. You know I love that expression because I'm all about the heart and soul connected. This lady I met some time ago, she is what I call, and she calls herself, lovingly so, a media magnet. Don't you love that? She's also a media maven too, because she knows all about the media, PR, advertising, and all of that. And she works with women, all of us, to help us be more proficient and experts in what we do and how we handle it. Now, her name is Jill Lublin. Jill Lublin has a fantastic, world-renowned background. She's met and spoke with and been a part of so many different renowned people that we might have a chance to mention when she comes up. But all I want you to do now is just sit back and help me welcome my featured guest speaker. Jill, as they say on the telly, come on up and welcome. Great to have you here.
I'm so glad to be here. Thank you.
Thank you for being here. I knew that you would be a wee bit late, and I changed everything around because I was so eager and excited to have you here. Because Jill, I don't have to say it anymore because I don't sugarcoat, but I just love the work you're doing. And I love that you're a media magnet, and I added maven to that. So share with us a little bit about how you got into this wonderful work that you're doing, and then we're going to get going because I'm changing everything around because of you.
Oh, thank you. So how I got to be, a little bit of life and what you do what you're good at, you do what you love, and sometimes it all just shows itself. So my journey, honestly, showed itself. And I started in the music business as director of promotion and publicity, independent record labels. Next thing I know, I'm writing a book, Guerrilla Publicity, and that was such a blessing to my career, which frankly really escalated the speaking and the training, and now I teach media mastery intensives, and I get to help people all over the world through my speaking and different ways of showing up, because that's what publicity is really about, is showing up. And additionally, I run kindness circles based on my other book, The Profit of Kindness. So that's been wonderful.
Oh, Jill, I love that. And listen to, you always learn something new about the people that you meet and greet and you connect with from time to time. I didn't know that you started in the music industry because
Yes.
music is the music of the soul. And I'm not surprised to hear that. And then you started Guerrilla Publicity. I love that name, Guerrilla, because I love monkeys. So I don't know why that plays in. But tell us, what is public relations and publicity? How do you separate them and how do you define them for those of us who need more and more of it?
Well, here's the good news. It is all publicity. Everything
Yeah.
you do is publicity. It's the public relations and publicity is the same term. Don't even think about it. There's really no distinction. But here's the deal.
Yes.
You know what my version of publicity is? It happens from the minute you walk out your door into the Zoom room, into a networking group, out for coffee, walking the dog, whatever. Guess what? You're doing publicity. So I want you to be a good one, whatever you do.
I love that answer. I love that answer because it aligns somewhat with what I'm doing because I'm all about image and appearance and how you show up, first impressions. So you said it's all of it and how we go about it and how you do it, how you create it. It's everything that you do. I like that. And I think a lot of times many of us might forget that. So when you talk about it, this is for me, it's a difficult question, but I know you can answer it. What is an expert? Not what does an expert do, but what is an expert? Because when we talk about public relations, publicity, advertising, how do we acknowledge and give kudos to an expert? And what is an expert? I mean, that seems trivial, Jill, but it's not. So explain.
Yeah, well, I think it is a good question. And, in my world, an expert is the one who you created. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm an expert in publicity. Joy, you're an expert, right? We are
Mhm.
all experts. We have our usually main thing we're an experts in. But one thing about publicity that I think is highly effective is sometimes you use other parts of who you are to get in media. It could be everything from age to ethnicity to your personal story. Like my client who has an autistic son, and
Mm,
she was getting in for National Autism Month because of
mhm.
raising an autistic son and talking about being a mom and how that is as a business consultant, then driving, guess what, people still back to her website, her page, etc. So experts can vary, but I would look first at what is it you do that you love and make a living at in the world, and let's
Mhm.
define that and go out, with that. And it still needs to apply to other people. Like, why would they care? That's the question I like to ask. Why do they care? It's an important one.
I like that ending. Why do they care? Because sometimes, or let me just go off the rails here. Sometimes maybe you can be an expert at something, but people really don't care. So media comes into this, public relations, advertising, and all of that. How do you, or can you get people to care? What are some of the secret sauces that you can bring into the equation to get people to be more in alignment with what you have a passion for?
The piece that I think is really key is you've got to give people value and benefit. Like, why they care is you're dropping gems. I like to call them golden nuggets. Like I'm doing throughout this interview, I hope, is actually telling you what to do. One is give value and benefit to others, be of service in that way. So you're not going to give away all your secrets, but that's part of the secret sauce is give away some of your secrets, the things that actually people pay you to do. That's a great thing, right? Let them be of what would I call it? Good cheer to your wisdom,
Hmm.
right? And so you want to be dropping nuggets, drop golden nuggets, give people real information, and then speak and think in sound bites so that people remember things. Like when you're saying something, people go, "Oh, I like that. Good. Take a note and say it again." And, one thing about the way I help people is really, I want you to have a script. I want you to be willing and able to speak simply and effectively, concisely and precisely, and say things in the right order. That's, guess what? The opportunity to be prepared and to get your
I,
expertise out.
Jill, I love the way you said that because here's something that you mentioned that I learned a long time ago, and I know how valuable and important it is, especially today, because we're in the Insta society. Everybody wants right away sound bites. Make sure that you're clear and there's clarity, precision in what you're saying. And then when something clicks, you take that to heart and soul, and then you piggyback on that so that you have rapport and you're in alignment with what they're saying and what they're thinking. And you mentioned the golden nuggets. So that aligns with knowing what you're doing and how it's going to react and respond to those that you wanted to connect with. So all of that's good. The value that you bring, what have you found? Oh my goodness. What are one or two of the things that most of us, no matter what we're doing and how varied it might be, what is one thing that most of us need to start to do to get more publicity and public relations in our wheelhouse?
Well, I think the first thing is to claim your expertise. I mean,
Payment.
seriously. And I think people maybe get a little shy. So start wherever you can start with baby steps for visibility building activities. And so what that looks like is everything I love, like nationaldaycalendar.com. Take a look at that. That's a free resource, and find a holiday, maybe find two, where you can get connected to, so that your name gets out there, your visibility factor gets out there. These are momentum steps that help. And what I've seen is that when people do momentum, stay in momentum, and frankly, take action consistently, you will create visibility, which is what we're talking about here. And publicity will bring those clients to you, the prospects to you, the great opportunities to you, and you will get your name out there for that kind of impact and influence that you deserve.
I love that. And you started off with claim it. Whatever it is, claim it. And then you wrapped it up with how you can get everything you've got going and working for you. You wrap that all together. And that's it. Do you find that a lot of us, for all the varying reasons, don't claim whatever that something might be?
I think a lot of people, are shy or I've worked a lot with introverted people. Even I was very shy. I understand it. I really do.
Yeah.
Yes, and I think that people make the mistake of not promoting themselves
Yeah.
and think that somehow people will find you. Or the worst thing, Joy, is they'll brag to me about being a best kept secret. Like, no, 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 don't go bragging about that. Because here's the thing.
Uh-huh.
I do want to address braggability, because publicity gives you braggability, and that's a really important thing. And I am not talking from an ego perspective, because I think people get that a little confused. But
Mm-hmm.
really being, well, proud and loud of what you offer, excited about what you do, passionate, which I'm sure most people listening and watching are
Yes.
this.
Yes. Yes.
And even if they feel a little inward or a little I'm scared, the truth is being scripted and consistent enables you to get out there easily and feel more confident. Because what I've noticed in working with literally thousands of people, when you have a script, when you're able to stand on your own words
Yes.
that are congruent with you, of course, that needs to be, then it
Right.
just makes everything so much easier.
Jill, I tell you, I'm so glad that you arrived here, because this is a great way. We're not going to end just yet, but to end the show, because you mentioned that word that I love, a lot of words. I'm a wordsmith, but ego. As long as that ego is healthy, well, and wise, and full of love, let us show. Brag about it a wee bit. But you also mentioned that you started off as maybe shy, hard to believe, but yet I can embrace that, because believe it or not, so was I. But also you have doing something now that relates and ties in and brings all of this together in the most marvelous way. So speak to us a little bit before we go to your graphic. I want to put that up about this kindness circle that you have. I love that. The kindness circle. Speak to that.
Yes. Oh, you bet. Well, my fourth book, The Profit of Kindness, super excited. And, it was a wonderful blessing how this came together. It was kind of one of those dropped in, but I know there's never any accidents. And my publisher said, we want a book on kindness. And by the way, it has to be in 9 months, which was very
Woohoo!
fast.
Mm,
So I just have put together a book about kindness in the marketplace, ways to get return on kindness principles, I call them, to be compassionate, to be flexible, to be patient. All of these are very kind, especially in today's world. And
yeah,
I really ask people to practice a conscious act of kindness every single day. Like, imagine what a different world we would be.
yes.
So to that end, guess what we do? We do kindness circles, and I love to invite all of you. They're completely free, and we have them monthly where you can come in and be with me and a number of other wonderfully kind people. And we do breakout sessions and actually have people interacting, networking, and connecting.
I think that's great, Jill. And I think it ties in a lot to the public relations and the advertising and the marketing and all of that you're doing, because you're connecting people and have them meet and greet and get to know each other.
Yes.
And that in itself is a kindness that you're offering. I want to ask my engineer to put up your graphic, because it's a great graphic. It gives a great outline of everything that you do. Publicity Action Guide. That's yours. Take a screenshot and a snapshot. This publicity action guide that Jill is offering you is indispensable. I have to tell you that I haven't received it. I don't know how to sugarcoat things, but I will get this because I know how important publicity is. And so I want you to have it. So make sure you get it. And more than that, make sure you connect with Jill because she knows her stuff and you can feel her energy and her passion and her excitement about it. So make sure you get that. Jill, I tell you, I'm just honored that you could be here. Before we go, you spoke to it a little bit, but tell us, how does one get to use everything we've got and maximize on it in this wonderful media world that we're all a part of, whether we choose to be or not?
Yes, well, here's the good news. There's always something to talk about. And the reality is, like, for instance, when Johnny Depp was getting a divorce, okay,
Yeah.
big news, Amber Heard, they were all over the news. That's all the news talked about. Okay,
Right.
I got a divorce coach I'm working with, and she helps people fall out of love. And I'm thinking, what a great match. And she was on because I coached her what to say and how to say it and to be effective for getting wonderful media. She
Uh-huh.
was on, let me just say, Fox News from morning to night doing interviews about, guess what? Johnny Depp and Amber Heard and divorce. Why? Because she's an expert on it. But she
Yeah.
wasn't saying, I'm a divorce coach. It's just she was commenting. That's called use everything you've got. I have a wonderful man who I was helping with instructional design, and we recreated his story to make it far more interesting using everything he's got, which is his personal story and the fact that he's Asian American. We were able to translate an article into Chinese and put it into the Chinese Times. Do you know he got a $7,000 client from one article in the Chinese Times? Would that be good?
Woo!
Of course. That's called use everything you've got. So I bet many of you have things you haven't ever used that could be very, very helpful, including your age, your religion, being a woman, being a man. Just let it fly and let's see what else you could be using.
Oh my God, Joe, what a way to end, because I love that. Use everything you've got and then use it in love, kindness, and compassion for others, but use whatever you've got. What a
Yes.
wonderful way to end. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I know you've had a busy, active day here, but before we close out, what is your food for thought, takeaway? What do you want those out there in the listening audience to take away? They're going to connect with you contingent upon your graphic and all the information that you shared. But what is one food for thought or takeaway you want to leave the audience with today? The stage
Well,
is yours.
thank you. Well, I think that it's really important that all of you understand the power of publicity to really put a message out there in whatever way you're comfortable with, whether it's podcasts or television or print where, you're interviewed. What matters is your message and your voice and putting your message out there so that more people are attracted to you, so that your message multiplies and monetizes and magnifies. I call it the three M's, right? And so with that, I want to leave you with an important piece
Yes.
that a major transformational leader said to me yesterday. I was on the phone with him and he said, without any visibility, you're like a wink in the dark. And I thought about that. I went, that's really
Ooh,
profound, right?
ooh.
Nobody can see it. Nobody can see you. What I want for you is your message in the world and to be the bright lights that you are, because remember, your message matters.
Oh my goodness gracious sakes alive. I love that ending because you have so many powerful comment statements that you made there. And the power of publicity, we all know how important it is. And now we're going to be, because your energy is infectious. So, Jill, thank you, thank you, thank you. My engineer is going to scoot you into the green room and I'm going to end the show. What can I say? This lady is a powerhouse. I've known her for quite a while. And if you've not made the connection, oh my, it's time. So, my Eagles, Jill left us with a lot of food for thought. The power of publicity. Remember, it's about your message and your voice. And we're not talking about a voice that's booming and loud and clear. It's your voice, your message, and your tone and the inflections that you bring to the message that you're attempting to share with others. I thank you for sharing this moment with me. Now, I want you to honor yourself, your presence, your energy, and your openness to grow. Because here's what I leave you with each and every week that we meet. Empowerment without liberation is incomplete. I could also add in without publicity, we're not going anywhere. I remembered what Jill said about it's like a wink in the dark if we don't know how to advertise and promote ourselves. I'm learning painfully so myself. So as we let go of the old conditioning, the space is created for the new and true empowerment that's going to take place. So I'd like for you to join me. We'll be back in, not April, in May. And May is going to be a packed full month because there's an event and all kinds of things going on. We haven't set a date, but you'll be seeing and hearing much about everything. And I want you to make sure that you make the connection with Jill because she knows her stuff. She is an expert at what she does. She's full of kindness, good heart and soul connection. You will not regret it. And I can say this to you, stay well. Keep the excitement, the energy, and the passion of who you are and what you're about and your purpose alive. And make sure that you do all the things that you need to do to bring forth into the stratosphere what you're here to do. I want you to also get to my YouTube channel, Joy Ruffin Fashioning Femininity, Style, and Truth, so we can stay connected. Make sure you subscribe and connect and go deeper. Yes, you can. You can go to my website because there's always something beautiful unfolding for you there. And whatever you do, remember, this month, it's all about you. It's about you every month. It's your power in full bloom unfolding. You are the new force. And I leave you with that. All the best. Much love from my heart to yours. Be and stay well until we connect again, and we will soon. Much love and all the best. Cheers.
Mm-hmm.